talking heavy music. The Black Veil Brides hail from Los Angeles, California. The band is steeped in imagery, and they are a modern-day heavy metal juggernaut. Their new CD, We Stitch These Wounds, is their debut, just dropped in stores July 20th, and they already had a groundswell of fans waiting at the stores. The band's lead singer, Andy Six, started this band when he was 14 years of age, and he joins us right here on Inside Heavy to tell us all about the new CD and what's coming up for the band, so stay put. We're coming right back with Andy Six from the Black Veil Brides.
Are you a fan of heavy music but hate high prices? Then go to the Inside Heavy Metal Shop for the best prices on the internet. We have every heavy and hard rock band under the sky. If they're not in our shop, they're not worth a damn. It's the Inside Heavy Metal Shop, powered by Amazon.com.
Andy Six from the Black Veil Brides, right here on Inside Heavy, the world's inside source to heavy metal. We're on the hook with Andy Six from Black Veil Brides. Andy, welcome to Inside Heavy.
Hey, how you doing?
Fantastic. Your band is causing a stir. Let's talk about Black Veil Brides. Let's start at the very beginning briefly. Where you guys coming from? How'd you get started?
We're from Los Angeles, California. I'm originally from the Cincinnati area. Kentucky area, but the band is currently based out of LA.
Fantastic. Now, this band started at a young age for you, is that right? You started, I think you were the originator of Black Veil Brides, but at a very young age.
Yeah, I was about 14 years old when, the idea for the band sort of came to me, and I got started on working towards, what we have now.
Now, I assume any lineup changes since then? That's a young age to stick with a band.
Yeah, no, there's been a lot of lineup changes. It was really until about a year ago that we found the right lineup and the right members to make the band, what it is.
Absolutely. Now, tell me about you got a new album that just came out the 20th, just a couple of days ago, and people were eagerly anticipating this album coming out. Let's talk about We Stitch These Wounds. That's the name of the album, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the recording of it. How'd you get up in the studio recording this album, and how did you get everybody looking forward to it coming out as you did?
Well, the thing is that from the time I was, very young when I first started, the whole idea for the band, it was very important to me that we not release a record as such, because I feel like so often people, they hurry up and they try to get a record out, even if it's not on a label or anything, and then they just kind of blow the anticipation or the excitement. So for the entire time that this band's existed, there's really never been very much recorded material. There's been 2 or 3 singles, that we made a music video, but there was never a full record as such. And so, the fan base of the kids that were excited about the band were very excited about the idea of having a full-length record to listen to. We recorded it in kind of on our own in Los Angeles with our manager Blasco. He kind of acted as a manager/producer, and my lead guitar player Jake Pitts did a lot of production on it as well. The idea behind it was that we just wanted to kind of make a record that was on our own terms, and we felt like, if we were to bring a producer in, they might not truly understand what it was that we wanted to do, and let's just make a rock and roll record that is obviously contemporary in the sense that it has a lot of, metalcore or whatever you want to call it, stylings to it. But at the end of the day, it's really just a rock and roll record, and we have 35 plus years of rock and roll to play on and to think about, and that's what we wanted to do, and I feel like we accomplished that.
Was you able to hold off doing any recordings and still build the stir that you have? Like I said, there was a lot of people and a lot of you had a fairly strong fan base already.
When the record came out, the day the record came out, we're in, there's 13 million views on our first music video. Mm-hmm. The thing is, you have to, the way that we've always seen it, and the way that I learned from Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley and, Kiss. You give people a product they're interested in, but you make sure that, what you're doing, it intrigues them. And if I were to put out an album of crap when I was 14 years old, it might not have turned out the way that, it did today. And so you build and you make sure that there's always something new that people can be interested in. But the biggest thing is to not bullshit people. And people knew that, what the band was about and what we wanted to do. And the fans knew that, we were working very hard on making a record that we were proud of and that they could be happy with. And so, I think that people were willing to wait for something that was going to be exciting.
What I've listened to of the album, it's class material. You did a good job writing. You did a good job recording. It's great musicianship. What turned out best for you? And I'll tell you what I think stood out for me.
Song-wise or just in general?
Song-wise, where do you think your strongest song was on the album that you think you really hit the nail on the head?
I think my favorite tracks are songs like Sweet Blasphemy is a track on the album that I really like. It's more of there's no screaming in it. It's a little bit more of just kind of a rock and roll song. It's got a big anthemic chorus with big woes and everything. And I was very much a Misfits fan and stuff growing up. So I love anything that has a big, huge chorus. It's always exciting for me.
Right.
But I like that song. Yeah, that's a good one for me.
The video that you've put out is for Perfect Weapon. I thought that was an obvious choice. I thought that would be a very video-friendly song, so that was a perfect choice, I thought, for that. So that stood out for me. The Mortician's Daughter, a unique song. Tell me about that song. What's that song about? That's a nice little change of pace in the album, I thought.
Yeah, I wrote that song when I was about 15 years old. In the way that anybody writes a love song. I was in love with a girl, and and what's interesting about that song is that I think of the reason that it holds up, or at least holds up in my opinion, is that it genuinely is. It's genuine. It's naive in a lot of ways, and it's very, I guess a glamorized version of what love can be. But it was a kid writing about his first love, and I think that a lot of people can associate with that. And it's in no way, an attempt to try to pull in the idea wasn't that we wanted here's a love song, like, oh, here's the love song on the record. It was a song that I actually wrote and that, we thought might go well on a record, and then people might see that, that was maybe a softer side of the band, but it was never an attempt to try to make, like, oh, track number 5, here comes